a knock buyout. Going.
I really got bought out at one point,
knocking
though.
on heaven's door.
Yeah, but we try it again.
Oh, we're live, by the way.
Are we?
We just went live.
Okay.
No, we're not streaming us playing Goat.
Yeah. Why aren't you streaming playing Goat format?
God,
Huh?
I feel like no one wants to see that.
I'm down for the.
You know,
the
Goat
straight-
format's pretty popular, right?
Yeah, I'm down for the one where we all get a modern card.
I would like to try that, yeah.
Yeah.
I really have to set up that thing to get Gabe and everything Streamlabs.
That being said, with how the meta shakes up, some stuff might be better than the others.
Okay, anyways, welcome everybody to the live stream. I'm your host, Dylan from the Buddy Force, here with some lovely people. We got Gabe, Miko, and Minsu, all as well from the Buddy Force. How are all you guys doing this Sunday afternoon?
Pretty good.
All right.
It's reading week's ending, so I'm sad.
Aw. Well, today, I know last week and every week I say we don't have a lot of stuff to talk about. We really don't have a lot of stuff to talk about this week. To put it in perspective, last week when I said we had nothing to talk about, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 things to talk about. This time we've got 4-ish. So, yeah, this is going to be a very quick stream, if you ask me. And why not start it off with some waifus? So around February 15th of last week, we were shown the new Dramacord Pendulum cards. It's the full musical Pendulum deck, and they're all magical girls. Minsu's going to buy this in a heartbeat. I'm probably going to buy this in a heartbeat, even though I don't like pendulums, but it's musical waifus. What can I say? Let's go to the first card. We've got Dramacord Cutia. It's a level 1 Earth Fairy Pendulum effect monster, attack and defense 100 and 400, pendulum scales of 8, and its pendulum effect is your Dramacord pendulum monster's pendulum summon cannot be negated, and its monster effect reads, you can only use this card's name. You can only use this card's effect once per turn. First effect once per turn. It is, if this card is normal or special summon, you can add 1 Dermacord pendulum monster from your deck to your hand, except itself. And then, if you have an even number pendulum scale in your pendulum zone, Dermacord pendulum monsters you control gain 100 attack times their own pendulum scale. So the Stratos, pretty much.
This would be really good if you pendulum summon it.
Yeah, it's...
I don't think this archetype has a 0 scale. Could be wrong.
I don't think it does, no. But yeah, obviously I think this is going to be probably a 3 of, even though it's a hard once per turn. It is like the searcher of the deck. So yeah, and also she's damn cute.
I like this archetype's art.
Although going by the age versus attack mode theory, she is 1 year old. So awkward.
Maybe not.
I
think that's only for Trickstars, though, no?
Is that only for Trickstars?
That was only for Trickstars, and it still didn't make much sense.
Yeah, it made a decent amount of sense. Candina 18, Licorice 16, Lilybell 8.
Yeah, that's why Lilybell isn't a waifu.
Yeah, exactly. And if you think Lilybell's a waifu, you're sick.
We're calling the police.
She is if you're Jesse.
We're calling the cops.
If you think Lilybell is waifu, then the FBI requests your location.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to the next card. This one's the level 2. It's Dramacord Dramea. It's a level 2 Wind Fairy Pendulum effect monster. 6 and 400 are the stats. Pendulum scale of 7. Same pendulum effect as the last card. Pendulum, your Dramacord pendulum summons can't be negated. And you can only use this card's first effect once per turn. It reads, if there is a Dramacord card in your pendulum zone, you can special summon this card from your hand. And if there is an odd number pendulum scale in your pendulum zone and a Dramacord pendulum monster card you control would be destroyed by opponent's card effect, you can destroy this card instead of one of that card's. That's bad grammar. Yeah, I mean, it's just a free summon pretty much, right?
Yeah.
Odds are you're
Yeah,
always
The
gonna
other
have it.
effects are poo-poo.
Get electromite.
Yo.
Honestly, so far this deck would seem pretty solid if Electromite existed.
Yeah.
If only there
I
was
mean-
a Link to Metal Foes card that wasn't just hot garbage.
Yeah. Well, if only there was a link to Metal Foes card that on summon put a Pendulum card to your extra deck from your deck, and once returned it could pop one of your Pendulum card, add one from extra deck, and then draw a card.
I know, right? Nah, that thing seems too broken.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Minsu, I like the idea, but it just seems a little too broken for me. I don't think
it's a little
Konami would
too
make a
strong.
card like that.
You're crazy.
No.
Yeah, no. I mean that's why I make custom cards. Okay, like that's why I'm not in charge of designing cards.
What's the name of this custom card?
Heavy Metal Foes Electromite.
What a stupid name.
That's a really dumb name, dude. That's too many letters. That's too many syllables for one
no,
word.
I'll be honest. I use the word generator.
I just wrote Full Metal Alchemist to just look for things that were similar.
Okay, so yeah, this level 2, not sure how I feel about it. You're probably gonna play 2 or 3 of it. I'm not sure how important different names are in this deck, but I'd assume that you're probably gonna be
can't
playing
wait
at
for
least 2 or
the,
3.
If you have X number of Dramaea cards in your extra of Demecord cards in your extra deck or field, win the game.
Yeah, but
I'm waiting
that's
for it.
too broken. Why?
I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for that stupid like FA spell.
who would make a card like that? That sounds stupid. Miko.
That freaking FA trap. That's like if you have
What's
Oh yeah,
the name of this
Wincon
card?
trap.
you win, yeah. You win the game. FA is the only archetype in the game with two win the game cards. And both of them are bad.
How many do you play? None.
I think you play one because one of them has a good grave effect.
You don't even use it for its win effect.
Yeah.
Don't you play this? I thought the most common win card for that deck was the spell, the one where you have to get like 3 of it in the grave or something. Am I
That
crazy?
just sounds like Jackpot 7.
Yeah, it basically is, but it's for FAs. It was the new one that came out. Oh, let's look this up.
I don't
All
know.
I remember
I'll-
is FAs have really weird cards.
What I remember is that its WinCon was Ancient Fairy Dragon.
FA winners. If you control an FA monster, this card you control cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. When your FA monster, whose level is at least 5 higher than its original level, battles an opponent's monster and inflicts battle damage to them, you can banish 1 card from your hand, field, or graveyard. You can only activate the effect of FA winners once per turn. If 3 of your FA field spells with different names are currently banished and were all banished by the effect of FA winners, you win the duel.
No, that's hot garbage. You don't play that.
Win.
I thought that
Yeah,
was
but
the
it has
win
winners.
con.
It has winners
No,
in it.
the
Must be-
WinCon was a combo with Ancient Fairy Dragon.
Well,
But
I'm
the
talking
deck's
about-
dead because Ancient Fairy Dragon's dead.
I'm talking about the built-in win con, not some silly fairy
Battle damage.
crap. What are you talking about? Fairy
You just
herder,
win with
whatever.
battle damage.
I don't remember what the other one is.
Like,
but I
let's
know
be
they have-
fair. If you're procking FA winners, you should just be winning.
Minsu, can you stop talking about fairies? We're men. Okay, on to the next Pendulum Waifu card. We got Dermacore Alicia. It's a level 3 Water Fairy Pendulum effect monster. Attack 11, defense 400, pendulum scale of 6. Same pendulum effect as the other ones, and you can only use its first effect once per turn. If this is normals or special summon, you can target a spell or trap card your opponent controls, return it to the hand. And if you have an even number pendulum scale in your pendulum zone, you take no battle damage from battles involving Dramacord pendulum monsters you control.
Seems bad.
This is
Hot
very
garbage.
meh.
Meh?
I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
Every-
Eh.
it's
you know,
a
if it didn't target I think it would be a lot better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a worse
And then
Trunade with
now
more
it would-
steps.
It would force, because if it did target, it would force your opponent to use a back row that they didn't want to lose.
Yeah.
But
But
it's
the
just like,
target,
yeah.
and it's like, okay.
She's cute though.
Also, this is very going second.
Oh, for sure.
And it's a pendulum card.
Yeah. Maybe it's a one of, but like
Nah.
for the level 3.
Bless you.
Excuse me. Thank you.
That's what
Also,
I'm
did you
saying is that
notice-
these cards, some of these are bad, but I don't know if you still play one of it just for the name. Or like, do you need? I noticed that so far all these are different attributes, and I don't know if that's gonna play.
They're also all different scales. Have you noticed all their levels plus scale equals 9?
Oh, yeah.
That's so
Oh, 'cause-
cool!
That's Doremi. Oh, that makes sense.
Whoa! Well, what? Thank you, Miko, for the amazing lore of Dermacords. You can also see, I guess, if you want to keep on talking about in Alicia, there is a double F, so like the Forte Fortissimo little thing there,
Oh.
kind of quirky. But yeah, this card not the best. If it was a level 2 water, I'd be speaking a bit differently about it. But if it was level 4, but
It's not aqua.
yeah. Okay, so if it was a level 4, I would have been happy with it.
Yeah.
Speaking of level 4, let's get to the next one.
Yes,
I'm tired of looking at this.
the next card is for Faye Dermacord Fancia. Fedora McCord Fancia. It's just a picture of the Milady guy. It's a level 4 Fire Fairy Pendulum effect monster. Attack and defense 16 and 4. Its pendulum scale is 5. Same pendulum effect as the rest, and you can only use its first effect once per turn. During your main phase, you can take one Dramacord Pendulum monster from your deck and place it face up in the extra deck.
Oh, hey, this is Mitsu's custom card.
Yo, it's Electromite.
And then if you have an odd number pendulum scale in your pendulum zone and a Dramacord Pendulum monster you control would be destroyed by battle, you can destroy this card instead.
Not bad.
Yeah.
You play this one.
Oh yeah, you definitely play this one.
It's
Very
like an
nice.
Harmonite for pendulums for Doremi
Yeah.
chords, which is
Mhm.
solid.
It is interesting.
Pretty
I
good.
know that pendulums don't really care, but the highest normal summon in this deck is 1600. I just feel like that's interesting to point out. You see most decks normally have like an 1800 or a 1700 normal summon. Or I'd say like the more meta
but
decks.
that's boring.
Yeah.
I think that has something to do with music score, but I
assume...
can't put it on the top of my head because it's been a while since I've done that stuff.
I guess it
not
it does have something to do maybe with the fact that all their defenses are all 400. So I guess these could be time signatures like 16-4, 11-4, 1-4, 6-4.
Maybe.
You could consider those. But yeah, I feel like that might be a stretch, although with Konami almost nothing's a coincidence. So
Yeah.
Everything
They
is
love
some
their
kind of fun.
puns. Yeah.
So yeah, I think this one's definitely probably a 3 of, I'd say. We haven't really seen any more 3 ofs other than the first one. But
These two seem like first 1 and 4 seems like the best one so far.
would you play 3 of the wind one, the one that special summons
No,
itself, or just 2?
I wouldn't. Well, if they're right in the game, maybe, but no.
Okay.
Depends what the others ones do.
Yeah, that's true.
Speaking of the other ones, we got Sodor Chord Gracia. It's a level 5 water fairy pendulum effect monster. Stats are 21 and 14. Pendulum scale of 4. Its pendulum effect is the first different one that we've seen. It's when you pendulum summon a Dramacord pendulum monster, your opponent cannot activate monster effects or spell and trap cards. Very nice. And then its monster effects, you can only use its first effect once per turn. If this card is normal or special summon, you can add one Dramacord spell or trap from your deck to your hand. And if you have an even number pendulum scale in your pendulum zone and your Dramacord pendulum monster attacks, your opponent cannot activate monster effects until the end of the damage step. Honestly, this
Pretty
card's pretty good. Yeah.
That's pretty good, yeah.
Depends on what
It's
they can
also
search.
it's Pendulum effect. It's like the best one we've had so far.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Yeah.
great pendulum effect. It's another
Well, the other-
searcher.
The other
All
effect
the
is
other
actually
effects are
really
good too. It's the only one I've seen with a good number 2 effect.
hmm This one stops your opponent from activating monster effects until the end of the damage step, and it's so yeah. Honestly, this isn't
It stops
bad.
floaters.
Something that I do think is interesting, especially with all of the all of the Dermacord cards so far, is that it says that your Dramacord Pendulum monsters pendulum summons cannot be negated, which means that you're not going to be able to use cards like Solemn Strike against this deck. Which, when I think of ways to stop Pendulum, Solemn Strike is one of the first cards that comes to mind because they pen summon 5, you pay 1,500, and their board gets wiped. But you just can't do that against this deck.
So yeah.
Are you making sure that I'm saying something correct?
Yes. I couldn't quite remember whether that's how it worked with Invoke too or not.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever.
Can you can't warning invocation with Meltdown, can you?
You can, but
It won't do
doesn't
anything?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
And you can't strike any of these Demecord Pendulum summons.
It doesn't say can you activate, cannot be negated. So you can strike them.
It-
The Doremi cards would still go.
Okay. That's
Also, I want to say something. This card's name is kind of making me angry now because this is So, not Soul.
Oh.
Because Do,
Ooh.
Re, Mi, Sol, not So. Soul.
Is it Soul?
Yeah, it's Soul.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, you're blowing my
Re,
mind right now.
Sol, La, Fi. Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was
Do.
So.
Sol, La.
No, it's Soul.
Oops. Okay. Well,
Oh,
there you
last
go.
week.
Konami, why'd you screw up, huh?
It could be YGO's translation here.
That's true.
But anyway.
Anyways, let's move on to the next one. We've got La Dermacord Angelia. Level 6 Fire Fairy Pendulum Effect Monster Attack and Defense of 2314. Pendulum Skill 3. It's got the same Pendulum effect as the Gracia. So your opponent can't activate monster effects or spell and trap cards. And you can only use its first monster effect once per turn. During your main phase, you contribute 1 Dramacord Pendulum monster, and if you do, special summon 1 Dramacord Pendulum monster with a Pendulum scale that is 2 higher or lower than that tributed monsters from your deck. Then, if you have an odd number Pendulum scale in your Pendulum zone and your Dramacord Pendulum monster attacks, your opponent cannot activate spell or trap cards or effects until the end of the damage step. I mean, the first effect isn't bad. I like it. It's just a little weird.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. So I guess let's put this into perspective. So if we get, if we summon out the water one, so this is a good example. If we summon out the water one and then we use Angelia's effect to tribute the water one, we either get Cutia, which is our Stratos, so that's our search, or you get Gracia, which is also our search. So I could see maybe that's one of the
you
reasons.
gotta play the level 3.
Yeah, that's the thing. So like
Aledia
level
has to
3
be
itself
played.
isn't good, but you combined with Angelia, it brings out your 2 searchers. So it might be necessary.
Maybe, yeah.
Oh, also once again, nice art. Nice art.
This
Cute
is
art.
my favorite one because this is the only one that's playing a brass instrument.
What did you play in high school?
You're a brass
Nerd.
instrument person?
Trombone.
I was a clarinet.
Oh, I can't really
I
laugh
wanted
too
to
hard.
be bass clarinet, but my hands were too small.
So I didn't do band in high school. I did choir instead.
Oh.
But when I did do band in elementary, I started off with clarinet, and I had a purple clarinet, so I was pretty fucking baller. And then I moved over to percussion.
Band was mandatory in my high school.
Really?
Mine
Yeah,
was
private school.
entirely. Mine was entirely optional. I
Yeah.
just chose to do it.
Our
This is-
band was entirely
Oh.
optional as well.
Okay, wait.
And I also
Band
went to
was
private
no,
school.
it was mandatory in middle school. That's
Oh,
it.
for us it was also mandatory in middle school.
In
Yeah.
middle school, it wasn't mandatory, but it was highly suggested. And if you didn't do it, then you just sat in a classroom doing homework for that hour. They called it
Yeah.
study hall, but it was basically the teacher just gave you more work.
Okay.
Oh, it's Mitsu's favorite one. No, that's just playing a flute. Never mind.
Speaking of playing the
Yeah.
flute,
Harp.
we've got one playing a harp, and it's C Dermacord beautia. It's a level 7 Earth Fairy Pendulum effect monster, 25-24, pendulum scale of 2, and when you pendulum summon a Dermacore pendulum monster, your opponent cannot activate monster effects or spell and trap cards, same as the last two. You can only use its first monster effect once per turn. It reads, quick effect. You can target one effect monster your opponent controls during this turn. If that card would leave the field, banish it. If you have an even number pendulum
That's
scale
so
in your
weird.
pendulum zone, you can target one face-up spell or trap card your opponent controls instead. Okay, and then once per turn at the start of the damage step, when this card battles a monster with an attack that is equal to or higher than the lowest pendulum scale in your pendulum zone times 300, you can destroy that monster. These effects are like, they're just weird. They're just weird ways of having good effects. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You wait until the card leaves the field to banish it, but then you also need this is the first time we've seen the even pendulum scale part in the first effect, which I mean, okay, you can target a effect monster or a spell or trap they control and banish it instead. Very interesting. And then the whole, if their attack is higher than the lowest pendulum scale times 300. So if you had cutia in your pendulum zone, that means you'd have to attack a monster that has at least 300 attack. So very interesting. Not sure how I feel
It's
about it,
actually fairly solid.
yeah, it's just I don't think it'd be like my go-to. I don't know, because so far this is like the only card that has any sort of interruption on your opponent's turn, right?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
randomly this card getting rid of floaters is really good.
This actually could be pretty funny.
If this is once per turn, if this is just once per turn, target effect monster and banish it, like that would be insane.
Yeah, it is just it's got so much faff in the effect.
The effect's actually really solid. Just for like, yeah, this is probably what. So far, this is what you kind of want to end on.
Yeah, because right now it's like the only real like interruption you have, right? Even if it's
you
a
were
hard
playing it
once per turn
pure.
interruption. Yeah. Okay, with that, yeah, I
And
don't know what
also
else to
like
say.
the effect to like destroy shit is actually really good, just because
Mhm.
this is gonna trigger almost always because you want to have like a one or you want to either have her or the level 8 in your scale because it's 1 or 2.
Even if you have the water one in there, that's 1200. Odds are you're going to be attacking monsters with more than 1200.
Yeah, but then you have a scale of 4.
Yeah, that's also true. But
And scale 4 sucks.
or a card that you could put in there is the next one, Dermacord Coolia. It's a level 8 Wind Fairy Pendulum effect monster, attack and defense 27-25, pendulum scale of 1. Its pendulum effect is the same as the last few that we've talked about, and its monster effects you can only use 2 and 3 once per turn each. You can special summon this card from your hand by tributing 2 pendulum monsters. You can target one face-up card your opponent controls and negate its effects until the end of your opponent's turn. If you have an odd number pendulum scale in your pendulum zone, you can target 2 cards instead. And when the effect of a monster on the field with attack less than or equal to 300 times the highest pendulum scale in your pendulum zone is activated, you can destroy that monster.
That's good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Wait, what's the highest scale that we have? Is it 5? 6? 7?
8.
8.
Everything adds up to 9. God.
So if your opponent activates, if one of their monsters that has 2400 or less attack activates its effect, you can destroy it. Seems kind of iffy. I mean, 24 is a weird number.
Yeah.
Like, it'll stop their normal summons for sure. But if you're trying to get rid of, like, any of their boss monsters or something like that, that's going to be an issue.
Also, if it's a number 2 effect was a quick effect, it'd be a lot better.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how all these deck building packs have worked. So, like, after Sky Striker, it's just like, oh, hey, what if we made all, like, the good effects, but we made nothing quick effect?
Yeah. I guess they're kind of worried about making another striker at this point.
But then they release something like Drytron.
Yeah.
Their
Well,
Adam
you know
Emancipator
about
was-
the conspiracy
Adam
theory,
Emancipator was
right?
by far
What's the
strongest deck.
What's the conspiracy theory, Minsu?
Oh, that they have 2 different design teams. One gets let out like one for a period to make like a bunch of good decks, and then the other one comes out to make a bunch of like weird theme decks with like janky synergies.
So my question is which development team do you think Jerome McHale is a part of? Do you think he's a part of the absolutely busted team or the We Make War Rock team?
War Rock.
I'm pretty sure he's part of either. Actually, he could be part of the War Rock team. He could
Yeah.
be the War Rock team.
I'm sort of on the
I don't
fence because
know.
he
I
was
feel like
he'd
super
probably
excited
be
about
like in the-
Dangers. Like he
We're
was
talking
one
about
of the
the
biggest
playtest
advocators of it.
team.
We're talking about Japan.
Oh,
Yeah.
Japan.
This is Japan. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, TCG is a lot more drastic where they have the
They
one
have-
team that gets let out once a year to make a busted deck.
And then Heart Garbage Man.
That's how
Yeah.
they can only afford the good team once a year. They're like a for hire.
I just assumed they locked them up in the basement until they were allowed out.
they're in the basement just drawing cards and writing shit down until they
Yeah.
get out for the year. It's like, all right, show me what you've done.
The
Oh,
good
God.
team the good team
This was a
makes
mistake.
dangers, right? They make dangers and then the regular R&D team is like, "Oh, okay, we got to make another archetype like dangers." Okay, well they all have they're all animals. They're all animals, right?
So race cars.
For hire. That's it.
No, please, that
No,
one's
Fair
still-
Hire was Japanese too. I
That's
think.
Japanese though. We're talking
Was
about
it?
like
Yeah.
so yeah. There's the guys like in the basement drawing dangers and they're like writing the effects. And there's like, you know what's really cool? Race cars.
Oh man, everybody really liked it when we made spirals. So let's make another archetype that's sort of like warrior based. Let's call him War Rock.
Yeah.
Everybody loves
Is
Go
there, like-
format. Let's make a deck. That'd be great.
Again.
15 years ago.
It's not
No,
even
it
good.
loses to Go Control.
We'll get guys, we'll get all the nostalgia players back. They'll be like, "Oh my god, this deck would be good in GOAT. I'll play it now." I'm really waiting for the day that somebody brings War Rock to one of our locals. That'll be a treat.
If someone does it, it might be one of us. Just like as a bet.
Yeah.
We're gonna do it as a joke. It's gonna be funny.
Yeah.
No, Gabe's gonna take it to regionals and then get somehow
Thanks,
top 8 with it.
Probably.
He is the king of topping with jank.
It's just
Remember,
gonna be the
like,
king of
Dark
Fairland's
Lair
Turbo.
Sky Striker?
That was a
Dark
funny
Lair Sky
deck.
Striker wasn't that bad because then it actually really caught on. Like a lot of people were playing Lair in Sky Striker. I still think Field Spell .deck is the pinnacle of Gabe's jank of success.
Hey,
Just no one knew where to stop in that deck.
Yeah.
we
Down
Like
people
that-
that Ash
we-
would like ravine or something.
well, we guys are idiots. We playtested that for the day before during lunch break, and we figured out the weakness, and we never told anyone.
Didn't you want to hit the Hidden City?
You want to hit
No.
Nemesis
You want
Warrior?
to Nemesis Warrior?
Oh, close enough.
You did anything in the turn just ends.
Yeah. Because wasn't the
Yeah.
whole point of that deck Nat Beast Turbo and
Yeah.
Yeah,
this
Nat
was in the
Beast
middle
and
of Sky
something
Striker
else.
format?
The
No, this
entire-
was during,
it's
um,
Pendulum.
Pendulum.
Oh.
like the entire thing for the deck was you distracted your opponent while you made an
With
Nat Beast.
random shit.
It was really funny.
Uh,
I want
I was
like
doing
that shout.
FPK and I ordered one thing and I won.
I'd like to shout out Ronnie for getting us to getting Gabe to play that deck.
Yeah, because you
Yeah,
were
I
didn't know
weren't
what
you
it
gonna
was.
play
You didn't know what it
spirals?
was. What?
I
What
think
was the
so.
deck that you were gonna play? You were gonna play like full power spirals that event, but
It was
then
The
stupid.
spiral is dead.
No, that wasn't.
No,
No, that wasn't out.
was it
Yeah,
Sky
that was
Striker then? What were you gonna
no,
play? Because
that
you were
wasn't
gonna play
out.
a
It was
very
Pendulum.
competitive
I was gonna
deck.
play a good deck. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
remember
he's
what
gonna
it
play
was.
an
and
actual
then
good deck.
Ronnie was trying to figure out what he was gonna play. And I'm like, oh
Maybe
hey,
it would have been invoked Mech Knight.
did you see Field Spell the deck? And the Gabe's like, you know what? I'm gonna play that.
And I bought the Hidden Cities.
Yeah, and then we playtested it for we playtested it for about an hour at lunch.
I realized that the Trickstar engine was kind of shit.
It was there to be an MST.
It was there for background removal.
So I
That-
changed over hand traps.
That deck would have been so much better if Corbane was out at the time.
Yeah.
Specifically
Sure
the
would've.
field spell deck.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay, let's move on to the next card. We'll do some more reminiscing later on. We've got Dramacord Scale. It's a normal spell
Scale,
card.
Pendulum.
You can only activate one of
Pendulum.
these cards per
Pendulum.
turn. Apply these effects in sequence according to the number of Dramacord Pendulum monsters you control with
Oh,
different
here it
names.
comes.
There we go. So we're running all of them, boys.
Oh.
3 or more, return 1 card from your Pendulum Zone to the hand, and if you do, place 1 Dramacord Pendulum monster from your face-up extra deck to the Pendulum Zone. 5 or more, special summon 1 Dramacord Pendulum monster from your hand, and 7 or more, destroy all face-up cards your opponent controls.
Oh, that's kind of a letdown.
There we go. We were
Right.
waiting. We were like, are we gonna have to play all these cards? Yep.
Pendulum
Why is it
monster
face
cards.
Didn't they
Wait.
do that with what was the last archetype we
7 or
talked
more.
about?
Okay, so
Was
it
it
has to count
Exotic?
as scale then,
Abyss.
yeah.
Abyss.
Abyss, that's what it was.
Abyss.
Abyss also had this effect. Or
Yeah,
a
but
card
the
that
Sir?
had
Abyss
different
one is a
names.
lot better than the Abyss one.
Yeah,
Yeah, also you have to pronounce it properly.
Abheis.
His
Next we got Dermacore Harmonia. Select and activate one of these effects. You can only use these effects once per turn each. Oh. Okay, that's interesting. So you can't... Oh, it's a field spell. Okay. I didn't see the... Spell field. Sorry. I didn't realize it was a field spell because it said spell field. Add 1 Dermacord Pendulum monster from your face-up extra deck to your hand. Have
No,
one...
Just got some card again.
Yeah, have 1 Dramacord card in your Pendulum Zone gain Pendulum Scales equal to its level until the end of this turn.
They're all 9s.
And if you control 3 or more Dramacord Pendulum monster cards with different names that have odd number Pendulum Scales or that have even number Pendulum Scales, you can destroy 1 card your opponent controls. So,
Pretty good.
I just think the wording on that last one is very interesting. Like, if you have 3 Dramacord Pendulum monsters with different names that have odd number Pendulum Scales or even number Pendulum Scales, it's like, as opposed to having a Pendulum Scale that's not odd or even. I get that it means just 3 odd or 3 even, but it sounds like you have to have just 3 of them that are either odd or even. It's like, man, I was going to have a Pendulum monster that had not an even or an odd number.
Well, you're shit out of luck.
I love the art of this card.
They released the
Studio
0
freaking
scale one.
Studio's freaking out because they're bad. Or they're out of sync. I'm not sure. They're either bad or out of sync.
Well,
Oh
I'm
my
Nothing's
God.
Going right. Nothing's going right.
It's
for
high
them.
school band class all over again.
I'm more upset about their formation. Everybody knows that you don't put brass with the wind instruments. Like, come on, guys. that's just bad conducting. Okay, now we're on to the trap cards. We've got Dermacore Musica. You can only activate 1 card with this card's name per turn. Select one of these effects to activate based on the pendulum scale of Dermacord Pendulum monsters you control. If you have an odd number, you can special summon 1 Dermacord Pendulum monster with an odd number pendulum scale from your face-up extra deck. And if it's an even number, you can special summon 1 Dermacord Pendulum monster with an even number pendulum scale from your face-up extra deck. And if you have both odd and even, you can target 1 card your opponent controls and destroy it. I mean, it's solid. It's just slow.
And can you imagine if you could just all 3 of these effects at once?
That would
True.
be beautiful.
You get the
Special
swarm
summon
in the
2 and
field
pop a card?
Pop, yeah, and pop a card.
Hell
That'd be
yeah.
so good.
I feel like we
I feel
say
like that
this a
would
lot
justify-
with cards.
That would justify this as a trap too.
Yeah, I think the way
Yeah.
that it is now, we say this a lot, where this card would be really good if it was a spell. Just, I feel like this is a little slow. Like, you're either getting one special summon or you're getting a pop, and it's
Yeah,
a
just a
targeting
little
pop.
bit, you know.
It seems a little slow. You'll probably still play it, maybe one or two, just because
I feel like you're
you can
playing as
search
a
it
one
out.
of just because you can search it.
Yeah, but yeah, it's just slow. That's all I really have to say about it. It's a good card, but it's slow. Alright, and on to the last card we got, Dermacore Formal. It's a counter trap card. You can only activate one card with this card's name per turn. And when your opponent activates a monster effect or a spell or trap card, and you control a Dermacord card in your Pendulum zone, shuffle one Pendulum monster from your face-up extra deck into the deck, then apply these effects. Pendulum monsters you control are unaffected by that opponent's effect. Cards in your Pendulum zones cannot be destroyed by that opponent's effect, and cards in your Pendulum zones cannot be banished by that opponent's effect.
This is a really weird way of just saying negate that effect.
Yeah, so I guess sort of going into the card right underneath. This is a roundabout way of saying Wavering Eyes doesn't work against this deck.
It also has that Vortex Dragon cost, which is kind of weird.
Yeah.
I think you'll
The
still play.
problem
You'll still play it. Like it's a like we said, it's a roundabout way of saying negate the effect.
Yeah, it just doesn't
Yeah.
stop. It only stops things that disrupt your board rather than let your opponent set up, which is kind of sucky.
Yeah, so cards in your Pendulum zones cannot be destroyed or banished, and then your Pendulum monsters are just unaffected.
So,
So
it protects your board, but it doesn't stop them from doing it.
you know what this doesn't protect
Yeah.
against? Evenly matched.
True.
Unlucky.
Probably one of the worst cards to have played against you if you're playing Pendulums, along with Wavering Eyes. But
Hey, you get to keep your scales.
Yeah. Not wrong.
yeah,
Scales
okay,
can't be managed.
that's true. You can't banish the Pendulum Scales, which
Hey,
means you
you're-
just
you're
have to
forced-
banish everything else.
You're forced to keep everything else.
Okay, and then as you guys can see, they are reprinting Wavering Eyes, so don't go out and spending all your money on Wavering Eyes just yet. If you don't really care about rarities too much, this will probably be a super or a
Maybe a
rare.
rare. Maybe a rare.
So depending
Or
on
common.
whether you care about rarities, Wavering Eyes is coming back, so don't break the bank just because you feel like you need to get your copies now. So what are your guys' overall thoughts on the Dramacord archetype? Personally, I like the art. I like the aesthetic. I'm just not a huge fan of Pendulum monsters in general. I feel like I'll give it a shot on EDO Pro, but I'm gonna have to really like the way that it plays before I spend my money on these cards.
That's
I hear.
fair.
Miko, what's your
Seems
opinion?
A little jank.
I'll
Yeah.
probably just get it because I like the art a lot.
Minsu?
I need Angelia just because she plays a brass
Um,
instrument.
Well, it depends on whether I have money at this point, but
Depends on
Okay.
if Minsu sells his box of Toon Chaos at this point.
I mean, it depends on when I'm gonna do it. You know.
Fair.
And then Gabe, what are your thoughts?
I probably wouldn't play it.
Yeah.
That's a lie. He's gonna play this at a regionals at some point.
Mhm.
And top. Is it... Okay, that's it. Actually, that's not it for the Dermacords, because later on in the week, another Dermacord card was announced. We don't actually have an artwork for it, but we do have the name, but we don't have the effect. It's a very weird reveal.
They have
It's
the name of a card.
Yeah, so V-Jump revealed that there's another Dramacord card called Demecord Elegance. They didn't say if it was a spell or a trap. And all that it does is it lets you prepare things and then deploy expand spam your Dramacords with a Pendulum summon. Why did they
Okay.
Is
say
this
that?
gonna be like a double pendulum summon card? Like,
I guess.
Why did they put that there? Is that really how they described it?
Hey, man.
prepare things and then deploy, expand, spam.
Languages are hard.
Oh my god. Well, I can't wait to see what the PSCT on this card is when it comes out.
God, I hope it's just this. Just prepare.
Me no like the
It's just-
English language.
Once per turn.
It's a spell / trap card that just so it's like it's green and purple at the same time. It just says prepare.
Once
deploy,
per turn.
expand, and spam.
Once per turn during your main phase, if you control a Dermacord monster, you may prepare things, and then if you control a odd pendulum scale in your pendulum zone, you may deploy, expand, and if you have an even scale, you may spam your Dermacords with a pendulum
Mother of-
summon.
With a pendulum
God.
summon. Best card in archetype.
Best card. I would play. I don't care what the costs are. I don't know what the cost for preparing is, but this card must be good.
I don't know what preparing does. I don't know what it takes to do it, but I want to do it.
preparing for this. Prepare is just you have to take a deep breath. I activate Demecord Elegance. Okay.
The cost is to breathe.
Since I have an odd number monster, I can deploy and expand my Dermacords, and since I also have an even number, it will allow me to spam as well.
With a pendulum summon.
Or with a pendulum summon, which you cannot do anything about since I have both an odd and an even in the zone. So, elegant. Nothing says elegant like having the words deploy, expand, and spam in your PSCT. So
True.
okay, well that's it for the Dramacord cards. I can't wait to see what Elegance effect is. But on to the next thing. We have a new Rzartic card. So if you guys remember, the last thing that we said about the Rzartic archetype was it looked good, it was beefy, but you just couldn't search anything. Like, it was a very bricky deck. It was hit or miss because it all depended on what you got in your opening hand. And sure enough, this card fixes that. This is Rzartic Departure. It's a normal spell card, and you can only use each of its effects once per turn. First effect is you can discard a card and add 2 Rzartic monsters from your deck to your hand. And the second is if you attribute a monsters to activate an Rzartic monster's effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard instead. You cannot use this effect during the turn this card is sent to the graveyard. This is an amazing card for the deck.
Oh, this card's so good.
Yeah.
Also,
lucky.
I love the art of this because this is just freaking Gundam launching.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the issues that we brought up when we talked about this originally, this fixes that. It's a discard
had-
1, search 2, and it helps with the tributing cost. Because we were talking about how some of those, wasn't one of the monsters you had to tribute like 3 monsters? So that also really helps with this. Yeah, that's all I gotta say. I'm excited for this deck now.
I was always
Yeah.
excited. You know how much I like. You know how much I like Gundam.
Yeah, I was
True.
I
But
was
it's
very
Gundam, but bears.
I was very uncertain as to how much of like an impact this deck was gonna make, but honestly, just with the fact that we have this spell card now, I could see it doing some pretty decent stuff and performing fairly well.
My only issue with it is going second. You have an answer to everything as long as you draw it still.
Yeah. So instead of needing to draw like the 3 cards that you needed to play properly, you really only need to draw Departure.
Going first though. God,
Going first.
This deck is crazy. If you open a departure,
Yeah.
or the bear that searches.
Yeah. So let us know what you guys think. Do you guys think that with this card, Rzartic is actually going to do anything? Like, is it gonna show up anywhere? Let us know in the comments down below. On to our last topic. Yeah, this has
I can't
really
wait
been
to
a
ram
quick
my
week.
Gundam bears into my Gundam dragons. It's gonna be great.
So, Minsu, you literally just told me about this as we were starting the stream. I'm going to let you explain what this is. So, right now we're on goatformat.com, and you sent me a link to the 2021 tier list. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but how can you have the words goat format and 2021 in the same sentence?
Well, unless you've been living under a rock, Goat format is the most popular pass format in Yu-Gi-Oh! So, there's still a tournament circuit for Goat format, and as a result, the meta is just kept evolving. And this is the current tier list for what's considered the best decks.
So how can a format from 15 years ago evolve with time? Because you're still only using those same cards, right? So how does that work?
Well, I mean, it happens with every format, really. Like, from according to our good old friend Lane, like the base set Pokemon, the best decks in that format was something that people didn't even know about at that point.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the same with Goat format. Also, people get bet with like the fact that people just got better at the game over time. Deck building changes. People like people stop caring about life points as much,
Mm-hmm.
and like just the deck building theories, like maxing out on your best card instead of just running two of everything, like people used to do in Goat format. You know, stuff like that.
Okay.
And like people reevaluating the power of certain cards.
Now, one thing I'm gonna point out on here is that I don't see Burn.
Yeah,
What's up with that? Burn's the best
no
deck.
change. There's no
It's
change
right
strike.
there. It's at scroll down a little bit. It's tier C.
Yeah, but that's Gravekeeper's
Yeah.
Stall Burn. That isn't what I played.
You played Stallburn.
Yeah, I
you
did play Stallburn.
It's just, I'm pretty sure that's just Burn with Gravekeeper Spies.
Huh. I feel like
So-
I feel like I should be mad that it's C tier. I still think Burn's the best deck of the format.
I mean, if you think you can do it through Heavy Storm and Triple Judgment, sure.
Hell yeah. Okay, so Minsu, where can I... So, obviously, this is a whole website. It's called goatformat.com. If I was interested in playing Goat format, how would I do that?
Go on EDO Pro.
Or Dueling Book.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's popular.
Okay, and it looks like here they actually have tournaments?
Yes, they've held them for like years and years at that point.
Huh.
Like for example, we have had actually a change in card pool where Exarion Universe used to be allowed, but then people were like it was a lot for 1 week before like Goat format ended, so
Mhm.
it shouldn't count, and as a result, it's been pushed out.
Actually, let's take a quick look at the card pool. I'm praying that there's one item here.
So Exarion's not allowed. It used to be, and that was like a core part of Beast Down,
Mhm.
Beast Beatdown, but with that being gone, it's just not there anymore.
Okay, and actually, if you guys want to look up all the cards that are available, there is a video here on the website that shows you how you can pull up all Goat format cards, like in the card pool on Dueling Book. So that's very interesting.
Also, if you have EDO Pro, you can just put ban list 20. Can put it towards that ban list, and then
Is it there?
it will actually like do it for you.
Well, I
where you
think
can like go through all the cards that are available at that point.
okay.
If you have EDO Pro.
I'm still upset that Marshmallow is not allowed. That was probably my biggest gripe about Goat format is that I was not allowed to play
Card
Marshmallow.
wasn't out yet.
It was
wasn't
out.
yet.
It was out. It was out.
All right.
All right.
You do you, man.
Yeah, you do you, my dude.
I will die on that hill. Marshmallow was out.
its first printing was in 2007.
Listen, I don't want to hear it, Minsu. It was out.
I don't want to listen to your facts.
I don't want to listen to facts. I know Marshmallow was out. Goat's old, Marshmallow's old. I should be able to play Marshmallow in Goat format. That's my only gripe with it.
That's not how that works.
Yeah, well, that's how it works. All right, well,
No.
In my mind.
The Jedi are evil.
All right, well, I actually think that's gonna be the end of it. There was really not much to talk about this week.
Oh yeah, one thing I gotta point out: Goat control in current Goat format is the 10th best deck according to the tier list.
So you're saying that the tier list is wrong, and that
No,
Goat
we're
should
saying
be
accurate.
first, right beside Burn,
no,
right
like a book
beside
Close.
Marshmallow Turbo is
No.
where Goat control should be.
no, Dylan.
Play Goat with one modern card. I'm throwing in Marshmallow. There. we
Yeah, we can do that.
talked about this. I'm just gonna play Burn with Marshmallow.
You do it, and then one of us is gonna run like
Prohibition.
someone else is gonna have
Commercial.
Pankratops or Golden Lord.
Oh, I can't wait for Dylan to play that, and he loses to someone whose choice was live stream dragon or prime material dragon. Just tribute someone for it.
Or just like Air Knight Parshath, which is already available in this format.
Or
Yeah, but hear me out here.
there's
Dylan.
also Nox.
Prime material dragon stops you from taking burn damage.
Oh.
Oh,
Thoughts?
that's a problem.
Actually, does prime material make you gain life points? Let me double check.
No, I think it just prevents you from losing any. Let me
Prime
look that
material
up.
makes it burn damage, heals you instead. And
Nice.
if you gain life points, you lose instead.
Isn't that bad
Oh, yeah.
reaction to? Oh no, that's the opposite of bad reaction to
Yeah.
Samochi.
Yeah,
Yo, but then
Yeah.
I'll just play bad reaction to Samochi. There you go.
as your
Oh,
Take
hey,
that.
that's
Isn't
a
that your card?
self-protection effect.
I deal
Do you know
damage.
Prime Material can, if a
Contribute.
card's effect to destroy a monster on the field is activated, you can send a card from your hand
Yeah.
to the graveyard to negate.
Yeah, but bad reaction to Samochi doesn't destroy anything. But there we go. That's what'll happen. I'll try to deal damage. They'll be like, "Oh, prime material, I gain life points," and they'll be like, "Nope, bad reaction to Samochi." Burn.
MST.
Got him.
Chain my MST to their MST to negate it.
True.
Because it's goat format, you see.
Go format, you dingus.
I
Okay,
mean,
guys.
it was out during GOAT format from us, if I'm seeing this correctly.
Yes, see? I'm not crazy. Okay, well, that's going to be it. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. If you did, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And remember, tomorrow we will be doing another live stream for the Fusion Gaming Remote Duel Tournament. That starts at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. So make sure you guys come and check it out. Either come watch a live stream, or if you want, join the tournament. You can do that by going to fusiongamingonline.com, and there you'll be able to sign up, and they'll give you instructions on how to enter the Discord and how to enter the tournament. Anyways, that's it from me. Hope you guys all enjoyed. Hope you stay happy, stay healthy, and we'll see you next time.